Who do you think was hated more?
Uh, I- the only reason I would say myself is because of social media.
Yeah.
Like I became a meme for months. I had friends sending me all these videos and stuff because I wasn't on Twitter at all. So I had friends that were sending me these videos that thought it was funny of all like they would like Photoshop me laying on the ground with my leg up and like just sliding through all these different videos, like tripping random people and whatever. And yeah, it's really funny now, but at the time I was so annoyed by it, man. I was so annoyed by it.
Tommy, who do you think was more hated?
I agree with Grayson. I think he was. And we talk, Grayson, JJ and I talk about it all the time, but he's had his own things with social media even recently. But I think that the constant drumbeat on all of these platforms where we are not just basketball players, everybody is conditioned to look at Twitter, look at Instagram, look at Snapchat, whatever it is. And the constant drumbeat of this thing where every time you look at your phone, you're a meme or you're this or someone's talking shit. It's like that's hard for anybody of any age to deal with, no matter what you do. When you're 19 or 20 and you have basically lived like a normal life, and then all of a sudden you're thrown into the fire, and you look at it and you're like, well, I didn't really do anything wrong. You know, if you get thrown into the fire because you committed a crime or you screwed up in some way, that sucks, but you brought that on yourself. Like all you're doing is just playing, and all of a sudden you're this thing. That would crack anybody. I don't really know. We talk about it a little bit with Zion. I'm amazed with a lot of, and Zion hasn't gotten nearly the amount of shit that you guys got, but I'm amazed with young guys now how they're able to withstand this stuff because it's never ending.
It's constant for sure.
Yeah, I have seen, but if you take out social media though, and you just go with crowds and then like the national media, it like I've seen like somebody, I've seen some of the videos of you. I think it was Maryland, maybe. Maryland might be some of the games, or just some of the chants that the crowds had that might have even they were on par, or maybe even worse. So I don't know if you just go game atmosphere, you might have me on that.
So I think overall, I think the amount of hate directed your way and the amount of attention to that hatred and stuff, I agree with you. And a lot of that has to do with social media and traditional media coverage too. I want to share in one game my sophomore year, these four things happened in one game. Okay. I come out for warm-ups. There's a sign that says JJ drinks his own pee. Hilarious. Okay. There's also a sign. There's also a sign that says makes a reference to a lewd sex act with my 12-year-old sister. Okay. Then there's a group of students sitting on the front row who have these custom T-shirts made, and they say it's a picture of me, and they say when I grow up, I want to name my kid JJ Redick, and then on the back it says and beat him every day. So then the Baltimore Ravens owner starts talking shit to me. He's sitting courtside. He starts talking shit to me. I'm having a good game, so I start yapping back. This, of course, incites other people in the stands to start yelling things at me. And then at the end of the game, I'm hitting the sort of game-clinching free throws, and the entire arena starts chanting, "Fuck you, JJ." That was one game. And that, from not even that point on, because it was happening before that, that was pretty much every road game that I had at Duke. That was my experience. I didn't have to deal with social media, and thank God I didn't, because I don't know that I would have not been kicked off the Duke team.
Grayson, did they do stuff like, I know they did this to JJ, did they do stuff where they would like call the hotel or anything like that?
No, my phone number got out a couple of times. So like the night before a game, I would got flooded with calls and text messages. And I think it was Florida State that it first happened. So someone because I had my original number till my sophomore year, and so I think someone from like high school or something somehow got my number and leaked it out at Florida State. And then there was another time my number got out. I never got the hotel thing though.
Do you remember any clever signs or clever chants that you could share? Is there anything that ever tickled you a little bit and made you chuckle?
The very first time I saw the Karate Kid sweep the leg one. That one made me laugh. Um, and then my big thing with everyone like thought I looked like literally everyone. Like there's Ted Cruz, there's Kevin from The Office, there's I'm blanking on the little king from Game of Thrones. I'm blanking on
Oh,
his name.
Joffrey.
Yeah,
Joffrey.
King Joffrey, and there's like a list of 5 or 6 others. So I would always have like my face side to side or like over that. Like I just look like everyone, no matter if they're 13 to 50. I don't know. I don't get it.
So here's a question that I have for you about this Duke villain thing. Did you feel like you were a villain even before you decided to start tripping people?
Well, for some reason I remember this after my freshman year. I remember this video that came out, and it wasn't by one of the big media sites. It was by one of those off media sites that mainly just does social media. And it said that I was going to be most hated, and it listed 3 reasons why. And the 3 reasons were I'm white, I'm good at basketball, and I play for Duke. Those were the 3 reasons that I was going to be hated in college. And I read that list and I like looked at that list. I was like, what am I supposed to do about that list? Like, there's nothing, I can't do anything about that. Like, I am those 3 things. So from that kind of made me realize like, okay, I might be in for something, but I didn't actually realize the scope of it. I still to this day, every time I'm around any type of Wisconsin fan, though, they have to come up to me and let me know how much I broke their heart or made them mad.
Um, the reason I asked that question is because I feel like the Duke villain thing is just, I don't want to call it a myth because I think all of us in some ways when we're 19 or 20 do things to antagonize people, but I talked about this when you were in school on my podcast 4 years ago, and it's almost like every decent white player that comes in is just like anointed by traditional media as like the next hated guy.
Yeah.
I was that guy, and then it was Paulus was going to be that guy, and then it was Shire was going to be that guy, and you just go down the line, and they're telling people to hate us, and like John Shire, God bless him, is one of the nicest, most kind human beings I've ever been around.
Yeah.
How could you hate him?
Well, I think it's like it's something that people want to happen, like from a narrative standpoint. So like even if you have someone like Shire in that place where probably never did a thing wrong, like I think like Shire's thing was Shire told me he had a website where all it was pictures of his face in games because he makes ugly faces when he plays. So there's like a website where Shire Game Face or something, and all it had was pictures of him making weird faces. So I think it's something that's like just forced upon people. And I still get mentioned all the time on Twitter about people who are like trying to figure out who the next one's going to be at Duke. Like it was Alex O'Connell for a little bit, and now like for this year's team, they're like saying it's going to be Joey Baker. Like it's like these guys haven't even played yet.